Grand Rising family, it's Shay Seeking again, and this is not your mama's Bible study because we know that his story lied. So, today we're just going through a couple of little definitions from this Century Dictionary supplement from 1809, I believe it is. So, I was looking for a definition for something, and then this popped up, and I said, "Oh, that's kind of interesting. I've never really, seen the terms written like this. Let's go ahead and look into it and see what we can find." So, we already did part one, which explained the definitions. They're not even on this page anymore because I just did screenshots in order to show it to you. And we're going to go ahead and go into, I think we did Americana on the tail end of the last video. So we're going to go ahead and go into Americanism. What you need to know is they spoke just like the Bible says at some point in time to someone that they have used crafty counsel against you. So again, you have to know that these people are crafty. Again, I'm not here to tell you what it is, what it ain't. I'm just sharing what it looks like to me. And it looks like, and just all in one big rut, the God that they have you believe. We have to separate the two on this channel. You know what we do. We separate the two. Separate religion from the biblical text. Okay? We know we're dealing with a form of a caste system here. And the first thing that the caste system does is indoctrinate the mind. It alters the appearance of things or oppresses and twist things around in order. And they did this by using different terms and terminology and things like this. So once you realize that everything we think we know is a lie, and everything you've been taught and that's been drilled into your head, whether it be entertainment and how they display or portray or what perception they give of a certain group of people, okay, has an effect on the mind and the subconscious mind. Okay, so the reason why that we've been over indoctrinated, over educated, which is indoctrinated, over, what can we say about religion? Okay, or just being religious at all, because religious is the construct that has been set up above and before the actual biblical text. I was just going through looking I was just shopping for a couple of books on eBay, and I noticed that, and I'll show because I wasn't prepared this time. Okay, excuse me. Since I wasn't prepared this time, maybe I'll put it in part 3. But it's funny how I can't remember what term was used in that Bible. It was something like a reminder to only use or be read in church. Okay, so it kind of made me think about how when a lot of people had Bibles, yeah, but when you went to church, they had them like available for you or whatever. And I'm wondering if that was just this. I'm talking about like in the 80s and stuff. I don't know what they do now. But is this something left over to the fact of the study just being in the church? Because at one point in time, it was just the so-called minister or pastor up there speaking with the book in their hand. So again, everyone wants to say that the Bible is what they use to enslave people. No, they use religious dogma, cherry picking in different ways to interpret the word and to present it to you in order to make you go along with this. They use fear, pain, killing, all different kind of real. Now that's the real savagery that they used against the people at that point in time. Torture. They used torture. Go back and look at some of the ancient ways that the religious, fathers tortured people. Just unbearable. Christianity, religious, what do you call it? Roman Catholic. These people, and you're going to take something that comes from them and interpret the way that they want you to, instead of using your you know what I'm saying? Instead of using common sense, wisdom, discernment, and anything that will already be within to see what we're talking about, that's just ridiculous. So again, the reason why we can't see things and we feel like we're connected to something when it comes to that is because you have been given the perception and the mindset in order to reside there. Okay. And it's once you start seeing things differently is when things are really activated and you can see what we're really talking about in this text. And you have to be able to, it's just very hard because religious is the number one tool that they use. I mean, religion is just the number one tool. Again, let's remember that a lot of these people couldn't read the Bible, didn't have a Bible until the late 1800s, early 1900s for a lot of people. So, again, a lot of my people, I feel, are stuck in the King James Version, which I have tons of Bibles here, all from 1800 all the way up till now. Okay. And there's an array of different texts. So I used to think that's what made the Bible fake. But then again, when you look at it, no. When you start reading different versions, it starts to open up something in your mind. But I'm saying, who gets to have the Living Bible? Because the Living Bible is the one that speaks truth. It just speak it to you like it's your friends talking to you. Like some of the stuff in here, I just can't believe that this is how they wrote it. Okay? With dates and everything, which helps me link up things that happen in historical times to see things that may have been similar to that in religion. I mean, in the Bible. So again, I hope that makes sense to you. I know I'm all over the place. If you guys are enjoying the content, go ahead and hit the like button if you like. So we can go ahead and just get into it. So again, like I'm saying, separate the two. And if you're religious, just nothing's going to change from you actually using etymology and different tools in order to see what these words really mean that you think that you know. There's not going to be any harm. The only thing you could be afraid of is waking up. That's the only thing that you could be afraid of by looking at it and interpreting it this way. So again, if it's God's will and he knows everything that I'm going to do, then it was God's will to wake me up. Maybe it's God's will to keep you asleep. And I'm not saying that to be bogus or anything. I'm just putting it in that aspect for, don't go around talking about, oh, God is in my favor and God's will and all this other stuff, because it might be his will and favor for a bunch of us, like it said in the Bible, to wake up to what's true so that we can really see. And when you do that, you'll see. So again, not to get too far off subject, let's go ahead and look at what Americanism is in this book. It says 5, I guess, maybe that's what that says. A name applied to a series of opinions at variance. I was going to say something else, and I'm not. Okay. With the policy and practice of the Roman Catholic Church. Supposed for a time to be held by some members of the church, especially in the United States, and condemned by Pope Leo VIII in 1899. And just remember that whole lie about they came here so that they can be religious. Did you ever ask which one? Okay, and then also when they say they came here so that they can freely practice whatever their religion was, okay, what was here prior to that? Are they the are they the Saracens and the heathens and all and that they were supposed to come over here and preach this to? You know what I'm saying? For us to believe that that was the reason why they came here, and it wasn't for the land that they've been consuming and the people as workers that they've been using as slaves ever since then, under the guise of different things like job. You know what I'm saying? Prep schools, just to prepare you to serve in their slave shops, which we call jobs, that keep us away from what's really natural and true, okay, is your family, yourself, your well-being, your mindset, your thought, what you would like to do with your day every day. See, a lot of this goes a lot deeper than this. And I know that some of the people that are watching that can see, those that have eyes to see and ears to hear, I'm pretty sure that you're finding yourself dabbling in a lot of things that religion has told you to stay away from. Even when I talk about the tarot cards, the Bible is talking about tarot cards. The Bible is talking about rituals. The Bible is talking about Freemasonry rituals. You just don't know because you've been given the basic, okay, the very basic version of what's being said here. And that's what religion does. It takes away, whether you know it or not, it does that. Just like sending our children to school. Rather than if they were just we were free to be who we wanted to be and use nature in other ways or the original ways that we always learned for thousands of years before coming across these people. You know what I'm saying? So to have you think that these foreigners know what's best for these people that were on this land is just ridiculous. So we don't understand that these things, these are tools that they've formed and used to make you submit or be submissive. So they had to get to your mind's eye first. And then once they do that, it goes through generation after generation. Once it was beat into some people, it was beat, and you say you wasn't going to church when you spent a night at grandma's house. You know what I'm saying? And most of us I wanted to go to church. That was the only reason why I wanted to go, because I was going to be with her. But when they talk about Sunday school, I'm like, So anyway, think about that. You know, and think about even later on. You know what I'm saying? Just in recent times, what goes on when it comes to children not really having a choice, or whatever it is being placed in front of them before they were even able to make a choice. You know what I'm saying? So again, and we wonder why we're so far away from self, because they've taken all the power out of you and placed it in idols that you worship, which the Bible speaks against. It just speaks against idol worship. Okay? And there's no way to interpret what the book is saying if you don't know who, what, when, the real timelines that's being used. There's no way to take, just like we did the whole thing about, what's his name? I can't remember who it was. Proverbs, I think we were reading. And he was saying these are the Proverbs for his son. That's a certain group of people. So we just reading it in general, like including ourselves in all parts of the Bible. You can't do that. I know everybody want to be the good guy in the writings, but I just detected that actually, if you look at yourself now, if you look at the past when it comes to your people, who are really the chosen people? And why do some people have to wait until they die in order to get this? And some people have been getting it since they came and took the land from your ancestors and lied and told you were from Africa. So I'm just saying, it's just when you got to take your head out of whatever they got it in. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. And it's not going to make sense because the government or your God-running force is your real God. The hidden hand behind the puppet that we call president that pulls the strings and really makes all the laws and do all the... You don't really think that these people that they put in front of you on that podium in the White House are that damn smart. You don't really think. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Come on. That they choose... There's a plan already. It's been laid out a long time ago. And there's a hidden hand behind them that pulls their strings and they make the people dance. So... And it's called a caste system, okay, which is one of the oldest forms of slavery. But they've, again, used a different term called slavery here in America in order to have you think we're talking about slavery instead of the caste system. When the caste system was used to erase melanated people from around the globe, not just from Africa, because we wasn't all just in Africa. There was melanated people across this whole realm before these people intervened. Okay? So don't get mad at me or anybody else that's doing the research. Because you choose not, you want to get mad before you don't know how long that somebody has been studying one of these subjects while people are running off at the mouth. You don't know how much, and this is why I never want to get into a situation like that with any of my soul siblings, because I know we're on a journey and we're basically, groping in the dark. But it's something that's already within us, that's being activated, that we choose to take that path when it's laid out in front of us. So again, when someone is that passionate and someone is that set in gear to do this type of work, don't come because you have not done the work. Now, if you've done the work and we found different, we could talk about that, hash it out or whatever. I might learn something from you. You might learn something from me. But somebody that is just been going to church and feel like they know something or they have a connection to something that's higher than them, even though, again, the Holy Spirit is only something, or the Holy Ghost is only something that can get into your soul in the church on Sunday morning, in a temple made by man's hands, which God does not reside, then it's not going to be for you. It's not going to be for you. Now, if you somebody that take each verse, break it down, use different things to understand even the words that's being used and what they actually really meant at that particular time, we can hash it out. But if you ain't even went that far, there's nothing, I really don't have anything to say. It's almost like a smack in the face because a lot of us don't do anything else but breathe this. So I don't know everything, of course, but I only speak on things that I feel like I am not well versed, but somewhat versed in. And if I don't know the answer, I will tell you. If I don't know and I don't have an understanding right away, I will tell you. Just like I wanted to go into the whole thing with the whole George Washington thing. But again, I have to get a couple things in line before I can even go all the way in. So this is one project that I decided to just extend my time and take my time to put it together properly in order to give it to you guys that way. Okay? So let's go. Sorry. Yeah. So the chief points were that in order to attract those who differ from her, okay, the church should shape her teachings more to accord with the spirit of ages. Now, and then that's another thing. We're talking about her. Who are we talking about? When the scripture is saying, come out of her, my people. Who are we talking about? Who are we talking about? Because they're clearly calling the she. And when it said that they're going to put enmity between your seed and her seed, who are they talking about? Okay. So, when you understand or overstand that the whole thing about leaving the mother and father and cleaving to the wife represents leaving their foreign lands, coming to the Americas, so they can have and hold it for God, and to do these ugly things to the original people there, to move about and gain the land. It's always been about the land, the resources, and the slaves. And this day and age, all you so-called citizens are slaves. No matter what your hue is. It's just some of you get to go in the big house and treat it fairly, and the other ones that are the origin of this land get stomped on. Because you're the base or the foundation of their nation that they built on top of your ancestors' nation. Now, if that don't piss you off to a certain extent, I don't know. They told you that Africa stuff because it's not tangible. You can't really feel a sense of revolt or that you had any control, or you don't even feel connected to the deaths that probably happened that much. Okay, we say it because we heard about this and it make us feel some kind of way, but you wouldn't even be able to attach yourself to that. But to know that these was your people here, and that the slave trade was fabricated, and that all these tens of thousands of people that the military, okay, forces that were led by lords, because the Lord is a man of war. The angels represent the boots on the ground, more than likely, but that had different type of tasks. And once you realize that this landmass was covered with particular type of people, our own temples and things that they sent over to overseas in order to keep them in their museums and things and keep them away from you, while everybody else is running over here to America, when it seems that they have all of the glorious ancient ruins and everything somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? So they done just robbed us of everything, including your culture, your heritage, your ancestors. It's just crazy. And then today we join the military to find out the ugly things that these people that were sent over here through by God in order to subdue and replenish the earth. That's talking about you. I'm not even upset. I'm very happy that I was able to realize this before it was too late. So again, I think that no matter what or how you look at it, this was supposed to happen. We were supposed to wake up to what's really being said. Okay? So that larger individual independence, matter of fact, this is deja vu. It really is. Be allowed that the church should relax some of her ancient severity and make concessions, I don't know, to new opinions that points of teaching which, excuse me, sorry, are of minor importance be omitted, and others toned down. Oh my goodness, I'm really having a hard time. That the monastic orders are out of date and their vows have no moral value. Now, is this somebody trying to make some changes? That, because I don't think that's supposed to have been happening, but let's see. And that there should be a separation between the church and state in all countries and under all, I don't know what this is. Conditions maybe. Okay. We are able to give approval to these views, which in this collective sense are called by some Americanism. But if by this name are to be understood certain endowments of mind which belong to the American people, just as other characteristics belong to various other nations. Okay? And moreover, by it is intended your politic condition and the law and customs by which you are governed, there is no reason to take acceptance to the name. And this is saying Pope Leo the VIII to Cardinal Gibbons in America, I'm guessing. Catholic something, whatever, April, well, damn, it looked like it's either 1599 or 1899. Okay? Americanistic of or pertaining to an Americanist or to his science, carried on by Americanists as Americanist research. Now, is this talking about things like ethnology and all these other terms, Egyptology, all these ologies and things, that they have been using to manipulate our minds as to what really went on? Okay, so again, what does it say? Americanitis, overweening national conceit and citizens of the... Oh, it does go on. Okay. United States. Again, these are citizens, slaves, or servants, or commoners of the United States. And once they were stable, then they went in and got the remnant of all of the other people in the outer lands and lured you into signing up for these censuses and social security numbers and birth certificates. But they had already went and done things to the land and crops and things. So people were dying out and starving. And so they had to submit. So they used means to get you to submit. The stories in the Bible are just basically them bragging about what they did using different terms and different an altered appearance of names in order to hide it somewhere thousands of years ago. That was a book that was sent down here and given to people by God. When it's just basically them showing you, just like they do in movies or anything else, just like them showing you what they're doing, the sick things that they're doing. Just look at the way the turn of movies and entertainment, music videos, bloody, gory, so-called African Americans. I would think that, oh my God, if we saw some of the stuff that Rihanna and some of these people are doing in these videos with all this stuff with blood baths and things, I would think that we would have turned away from that a long time ago, or noticed that something was up a long time ago. But again, you don't realize some of the things that's being displayed in front of you because we've been turned into our oppressor. We're starting to enjoy the things that he enjoys or they enjoy. Partake in the things that they have done to the people all over the so-called world, and especially in this land, over decades and centuries. The same families and bloodlines are in power and still thriving, while the servants and commoners, which are still in the temple of God or the firmament, they're just the foreign. They're here for reign. They're here to help God reign and to till the land and to subdue it and to preside over and to prune it and take care of it and decorate it the way they want to. And they don't want you here. They need your energy for fuel or food or sustenance. But again, so why do we want to still be involved? And that don't mean you have to do anything. You don't have to march anywhere. You just have to come out. The church, the school, all of it. Entertainment, let them keep that. You thinking it's entertainment when these people got us all messed up in the head as to what a woman is supposed to act like? That's because a lot of you think that some of these people are women. Well, maybe they are woman. Androgynous, made men and female. Both male and female. Because a lot of us don't even notice that there's 2 creation stories in the Bible. So, I'm just saying. Okay? Certain endowments, where do we start? To the American people, just as other characteristics belong to various other nations, and moreover, by it is intended your politic condition and the law and customs by which, okay, so we already read that, okay, his science, or to his science, just like his story. See, whenever they talk about prehistoric, whenever talking about pre-Adamite, that was you, the people that was already here before they came here and placed their nation on top of a foundation, and that's you. A lot of these buildings and stuff they took from your ancestors. And I'm thinking it didn't happen that long ago. I'm thinking it didn't really happen that long ago, really. So, especially when shown or expressed by vulgar brag or noise, braggadocio, the removal from athletics, etc., of the real dishonor so often revealed by the disqualification of men tainted with professionalism, less preferred or preferred, I guess, I don't know. Americanist at games and in celebrating victories, something newspapers, and I don't know what else it says. Okay? So again, I hope you guys are enjoying this. You can just pause it if you want to and just, well, I know this is the end already, but still. You can pause and just read it on your own if you wanted to. But go ahead and just hit the thumbs up if you do. And yeah, I think there's just one more. So, see you guys soon. Take care.